I certainly didn't expect this good a turnout, especially even with the weather as it's been and as it's going to be today. So in light of that, I will try to be brief so that we can get to the great food that is being provided by TT's Barbecue. I'd like to thank all the previous people that spoke today. Councilman Denise Moore, Mayor Honors, certainly an honor for the mayor to have the Mayor Artist to speak here with me today. And Mrs. Sullivan, certainly an honor to have you to speak with us here today as well. And certainly an honor, I've heard so much of you over the years, certainly an honor to get to see you and hopefully get to meet you in person. I'd like to thank LISC, the LISC Foundation, and the City of Peoria for funding this effort. I'd like to thank the Heritage Ensemble for branching out and sponsoring this effort. I'd like to again thank Councilman Denise Moore for being an excellent advocate for both her district and for the arts. I'd like to thank Orlando of TT's Barbecue for having the original vision of let's put something on the wall and putting that to the conversation. Certainly, let's give him a round of applause. I'd like to thank Reverend Toombs, the building owner, the local chapter of the Nation of Islam here for consenting to have an image on their wall. That was certainly not something that they had to do. I would like to thank the subjects of the mural, Sean Livingston. We all, and certainly if you were watching TV last night, you saw his excellent efforts that he began to develop and hone here in Peoria, Illinois. Sean Livingston. Representative Jahan Gordon Booth. I'd like to thank her again, once again, for consenting to be in this. She's been a shining example of a young person that has picked up the mantle of politics and has done an outstanding job in our community, and I continue to support her, and we continue to support her, and we continue to wish her well in her efforts. So we'd like to thank again Jahan Gordon Booth, as well as Annie Jo Gordon and John Gwynn Jr. There's so many people that were involved in this effort, and I was thinking about this morning how when many years ago when I began my apprenticeship with Preston Jackson and I fell in love with creating art, I didn't realize how many people it would take in order to bring bring projects to their fruition. And it's a group effort and a team effort, and I wanted to make sure that I thanked all the people involved, and I'm sure even when I get done, there'll be people that I leave out, so I don't want to be rude. I want to thank everybody that's been involved. I want to also thank Angie, and I'm going to say Angie O from LISC because I won't butcher her last name. Angie coordinated this effort, and I am overjoyed by the turnout that happened here today. Thank you, Angie O. She's standing over here, and she's standing next to Brenda Gentry. Brenda Gentry, if you'll notice, you'll see her signature on this piece as well because she was very much a part of the execution of this piece. Let's give a round of applause for Brenda Gentry. An outstanding artist in her own right. We look forward to seeing more public art efforts from her, and hopefully I can assist her on a project in the future, and hopefully we'll do something just as good or probably even better. I'd like to thank my wife, Sakoni Reed, for not only being my rock and my light, but for having my son, Rashad, and consenting to have him to pose in this mural. So I'd also like to thank my son, Rashad Reed. And last but not least, come on up, bro, come on up. The lady that assisted me on this project is shy, but my son is not, as you can see. Lastly, the people that I'd like to thank and be sure that I thank are the residents of the south side of Peoria. Because with your encouragement while I was creating this project, your appreciation as I created this project, we created this project, and the respect that you have shown to me and to us and this entire project, I will forevermore cherish. Thank you to the residents of the south side of Peoria. And then in closing, I'd like to say that the turnout today is definitely an example that the arts are important to a society, to a community, on down to family and individuals. It's unfortunate that we're in a time when cuts to school day arts programs and after-school arts programs are increasingly prevalent. We must emphasize the arts at this time as examples of excellence and heights to strive for. I'm deeply honored to be professionally called upon to provide such examples of these art. And this is hopefully one of the first offerings, and hopefully we'll be able to bring forth more in the future. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. God bless.